experienced in class. Now I'm not going to be talking, I'm going to be becoming one of you when I'm in the class. When I'm in the class, I stand in Tadasana. Correct? Now when I'm in Tadasana, I know my knees have bent and I know my knees have been straightened. So what is it that we all do? What do we all do? We grip the knee. Okay, the knees are gripped and we are happy. So I go on gripping the knee. What are the transformation or what are the changes which take place in my brain as I go on gripping the knee? I find that slowly the knees are losing their grip. So what do? I grip it further. I feel good. Then slowly the knees start to grip, lose the grip. What else happens? I find maybe around here I feel a little bit of discomfort just above the knee. Correct? But I ignore the discomfort and say no, I should stay. I should hold and grip the knee. I go on gripping the knee and after a while I start to become a little agitated. My mind starts to say, how long is the teacher going to ask me to grip the knee? What is happening? What am I doing? Now what happens? I'm not involved in the gripping of the knee, so the knee slowly loose. And thereafter, suddenly the mind comes and says, the knees are not gripped. Does it happen to all of us? And we do not know why it happens. We believe that if I practice harder, I'll be able to grip the knee more. Does it make sense? Now, that is because of influence. This is what I call influence. The influence is there to grip the knee and I grip the knee directly. Now, what happens, the structure in which it happens is, first I grip the knee, I'm deeply involved, slowly the involvement goes out. Slowly the absorption goes out, slowly the engagement with the knee goes out. Don't worry. Okay. Yeah. So slowly the involvement gets, we are no longer involved after that. And that's how we start losing that contact which we got in the first instance. Now let us look, and when the involvement goes away, we become restless. What we try to do is, we try to hold on even when the restlessness is there. Now let us look at another way of this practice. Do you agree to what I am saying so far? Now I will just stand. Now, I just take my weight to the front. I know it's not the right thing to do, but I still take my weight to the front and I find that yes, my mounts are touching the floor. Whereas when I first stood, I was on my knees. Now my mounts are also touching the floor. After touching the mounts on the floor, I'll maintain the mounts as they are, maintain the weight of the mounts so that they don't lose the contact of the floor, and then take the weight back. I move the thighs back, and then I take the tailbone forward, and I leave there. Then I make the changes which are required, whatever I need to do with the chest. But what has happened? Are the knees in place? Are the knees gripped? Now see, if I was like this is the gripping of the knee which we see at a gross level, which makes me disturbed. Whereas I press the mounts, I go back, I don't talk about the knees, I move the thighs back. What happens to the knee? The knees remain gripped. I didn't talk about the knees. I didn't think about the knees, but the knees get gripped on its own. This is transformation. The transformation takes place when, without talking about the subject, simple things happen. Now what happens, which you may try in your own practice, as I keep the weight there and go on working there, I feel the flow of the intelligence. I feel the flow of the consciousness. Now what do I mean by consciousness? Consciousness is that which enables you to do something. Consciousness is that which makes you to feel something. Consciousness is that which makes you to do something. If the consciousness is not there, you will not be able to do something. If the consciousness is not there, you will not be able to feel something. So consciousness is required for the activity to take place. So when I am standing here, and as I take my thighs back and go, the consciousness flows through the knees, and the knees start to align themselves. that I grip the knee, the consciousness is brought there by blocking. Just imagine that there is a flow of the river. How can I make the river disappear? Very simple. I block the river. What happens? Upstream you create a lake, so it's no longer a river. Downstream there is no river because there is no water. This is what we do when we are under an influence. We block the flow of the consciousness so that we think that we are irrigating that area. But when you block the flow of the consciousness, immediately that flow stops and the consciousness becomes stagnant. When the consciousness becomes stagnant, the intelligence slowly dissipates and disappears. And when the intelligence slowly dissipates and disappears, the mind becomes restless. Why does the mind become restless? Because the mind gets restful when the intelligence is present. When the intelligence is flowering, the mind becomes quiet. When the intelligence gets stagnant, the mind becomes restless.